Hey everyone, and welcome! Today we're going to learn how to play Kingdomino. It's a really fast, super clever tile-laying game for 2 to 4 players, and a whole game only takes about 15 minutes.
So, in this explainer, we're going to cover everything you need to jump right into your first game. We'll start with the basics, get into setting up, how to play, and of course, how to score and win.
Okay, so what is Kingdomino? Well, the idea is pretty simple. You are royalty, and you're trying to expand your kingdom. You'll do that by picking out and connecting these cool dominoes that represent all different kinds of land. What's the main goal here? It's pretty straightforward. Build the very best kingdom. You're aiming to create a perfect 5x5 grid of dominoes, and whoever has the most points at the end, well, they win. Now, how do you get those points? It's all about creating big areas of the same type of land, like a huge forest or a big lake. But here's the kicker. To actually score points for that land, it has to have crowns on it. No crowns, no points. Simple as that.
All right, let's get this thing set up and ready to play. And just so you know, the rules I'm about to explain are for a standard 4-player game.
Okay, let's get this done step by step. First, everyone grabs their starting stuff. You get a starting tile, a castle that matches your color, and one of your little king meeples. Go ahead and place your castle right on that starting tile. Easy. Next, take all 48 of the dominoes, flip them number side down, and give them a good shuffle in the box. That's your draw pile. Now draw the first 4 tiles and line them up in order, from the lowest number on top to the highest on the bottom. Then you just flip them over so you can see the terrain side.
So who gets to pick first? To figure that out, one person just takes all 4 king meeples, hides them in their hand, and draws them out one by one. When your color king is drawn, you get to place it on any of the 4 dominoes that are face up. That tile is now yours for the next round. This also sets the very first turn order.
Okay, setup is done. Now for the fun part, how to actually play your turn. And trust me, it's super simple and fast. Every single turn boils down to just 2 things in this specific order. First, you add a domino to your kingdom, specifically the one your king has been sitting on. Then, after you've placed it, you choose your next domino from the new line that's available. Now this is where the game gets really, really smart. The turn order for the next round is decided by which dominoes you all just picked. See that line of tiles? The player whose king is on the topmost tile, the one with the smallest number, gets to go first next time. And whoever picked the bottommost tile, they go last.
Of course, you can't just place these tiles anywhere you want. There are a few rules. First, your whole kingdom can't ever get bigger than a 5x5 square grid. Second, and this is the most important one, your new domino must touch a side of an existing tile that matches its terrain. So forest has to touch forest, water has to touch water, and so on. Your starting tile with the castle, that's a wild card. Anything can connect to it. If you have a tile you can't legally place, well, you have to discard it. And remember, once a domino is down, it's down for good.
So you've placed your tile, and now you have to pick your next one. This is the whole strategic heart of the game, right here. You'll notice the dominoes with higher numbers usually have more crowns. They're more valuable. But if you grab one of those awesome tiles, you're placing your king at the bottom of the line, which means you'll pick last next round. It's this constant, fantastic puzzle.
Okay, so you'll keep doing this for 12 rounds. Once the last dominoes are placed, the game's over. Time to see who built the most glorious kingdom by counting up the points.
Before we do the math, let's be clear on one term: territory. A territory is just any group of connected squares of the same land type. It could be one big wheat field or a long winding river. As long as they're the same type and touching sides, they're one territory.
The scoring formula is super easy to remember. For each of your separate territories, you're just going to multiply 2 numbers. The number of squares in that territory times the number of crowns in that same territory. That's it.
Let's look at an example. Say you've got this awesome forest territory made of 7 squares, and it has 3 crowns in it. You just multiply 7 times 3, that's 21 points. Not bad. But look at this other one, a massive lake territory with 9 squares. Looks impressive, right? But it has 0 crowns, so 9 times 0 is, well, 0. It's worth nothing. You absolutely need crowns to score.
So you do that little multiplication for all of your different territories and add up the results. That's your grand total. Highest score wins, and if you happen to tie, the tiebreaker is simple. Whoever has the single largest territory, just the one with the most squares, takes the crown.
Okay, before we wrap this up, just a few quick pro tips. Once you've got the hang of the base game, there are a few official ways you can switch things up.
For example, if you're playing with just 2 players, you each get 2 kings and build a bigger 7x7 kingdom. For a 3-player game, it's even simpler. Each round, you just get rid of the 4th domino in the line. You can also toss in some bonus scoring rules. Harmony gives you 5 extra points if your grid is perfectly complete with no holes. And Middle Kingdom gives you a whopping 10 bonus points if your castle is dead center.
And really, that's it. You now have everything you need to play Kingdomino. It's a beautiful, simple game about planning just one step ahead and balancing those tempting, high-value tiles against a better turn order.
So the only question now is, what kind of ruler will you be? Are you going to go for those vast, sprawling fields of wheat? Or maybe focus on the mines with all the valuable crowns? Go find out. Enjoy the game.